Let's talk about pain. When it comes to pain, every human experiences pain, from stubbing your toe, to breaking your arm, to tearing your ACL, to suffering from chronic pain. We've all experienced varying degrees and continue to do so. Now, in the last 30 years, we've learned a lot when it comes to pain, and we're finding out how complex it really is. If you flash back the clocks 30 years ago, we looked at pain as a biological damage meter, meaning the more pain, the more tissue damage you had, and that's how we view pain. So we learned and we learned and we learned and found out that pain is actually poorly related to damage. So then we start to explore the psychology of pain, meaning the brain creates pain or the psychosomatic response. And we looked into that and we learned more and realized that the brain does contribute to pain. So maybe it wasn't all biology, and maybe it was biology and psychology. Well, then a third aspect started to show up recently, which was the social aspect, meaning the environment you're in and how that contributes to pain. So we started to study that. Well, at the same time, over these 30 years, we've realized that it's not just one thing. It's not just biology or muscle or tendon or ligament or fascia. And it's not just the brain. And it's not just the environment we're in. It's actually all of those combined. So the new model of pain, which is called the biopsychosocial model, is in fact where we realize that pain is not just one thing. Pain is multifaceted. Pain is complex. It is its own complex system. The problem is we try to separate and isolate and find the one thing that is causing pain when they all contribute. So if we just look at the biology, we're missing the picture. If we look at the psychology, we're missing the picture. If we look at the social aspect, we're missing the picture. What we have to in fact do is realize that pain is a complex mixture, just like you would take this Play-Doh as a kid and you would start to mash it up. Now, we can see distinct lines, but the truth is, when these all get molded together through life and through experience, it starts to blur the lines to the point where how much biology is contributing to the pain, how much psychology, and it gets to the point where the more we add and the more it molds together, that it's all one thing. All three of those stressors are contributing to pain. That's why when we pick one aspect alone and think that's the cause of pain, we're misguided and misinformed. So pain is no longer a damage meter, because you can think of pain like a fire alarm. Sometimes fire alarms go off because there's a big, massive fire, aka lots of tissue damage. But other times your fire alarm goes off and there's no fire whatsoever. And that would be an example of having pain without tissue damage. And then we can also think of the psychological aspect, where someone's interpretation of what pain actually means can either influence and increase their pain or decrease and inhibit pain. So we need to think that pain is complex. And when you look at this, you cannot separate any of the three factors, from the social aspect to the psychological aspect to the biological. It is one entity. They all are together creating and causing the environment for which pain is either amplified or inhibited. And so when we're treating someone with pain, or you're experiencing pain yourself, this is what I want you to think. It's messy, and that's typical of life. So no longer should you think pain is a damage meter, or it's just a psychological thing and it's in their head, or it's just the environment they're in. We have to be better. We have to be better. So this is the biopsychosocial model of pain, and there's no distinct lines. It's all blurred. It's all one thing. It's all together. Hopefully that, guys, helps you see how pain is complicated. So when your elbow hurts, or when your hip hurts, or when your back's been killing you for years, we have to look at multiple things, multiple factors that would be causing that. It's not going to be one exercise or one stretch or one thing that helps you get out of pain. We want to look at the bigger picture, because it's going to take all those aspects to influence your pain. I hope that this silly example using Play-Doh gave you a better picture about what causes pain and how complex it is, and how there's no one simple answer, but at the end of the day, pain is something we can improve and something that we can manage. We've just got to think about it in a different light. Get starched.